Have you ever poured your heart into a message, hoping for a reply that never comes? You stare at the screen, waiting, hoping, checking your phone every 5 minutes. And what do you get? Nothing. Silence. That gut-wrenching moment when you realize you don't matter enough. Your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Maybe I should send another message. Should I try harder? No, stop. Because every second you spend chasing someone who ignores you, you are destroying your own worth. You are begging for validation. And that ends today. Today, I will give you the harshest, most brutally honest reality check of your life. 6 high-impact, battle-tested psychological shifts that will make people respect, value, and crave your attention without you ever chasing again. This video is for the men and women who are done feeling invisible. And if that's you, comment, "I refuse to beg." Because this is the moment you stop being an afterthought and start becoming unforgettable. Most men handle rejection wrong. They think if they explain themselves better, if they just get one more chance, if they prove their worth, the other person will finally see them. But let me tell you the truth. The moment you chase, you lose. When someone ignores you, it's not by accident. It's a decision. And the more you beg, the lower your value drops. You don't chase. You flip the script. This video will teach you exactly how to regain control, command respect, and make them regret ever ignoring you. Let's start with the first and most critical shift. Number 1. Stop giving unlimited access. Every time you make yourself too available, you strip yourself of value. She doesn't ignore you by accident. She doesn't forget to text back because she's busy. She's making a choice to keep you on standby while she chases something she actually desires. And that's not you. Yet. Because right now, you've positioned yourself as just another option in a world drowning in weak men begging for attention. Every time you respond instantly, every time you double text, every time you wait by your phone hoping she'll acknowledge your existence, you are silently telling her that your time, your presence, and your worth are beneath hers. And if you don't value yourself, why would she? Women are wired for desire, not pity. She will never feel attraction for a man who treats himself like an afterthought. The moment you start waiting for her validation, you've already lost. She can sense when you're desperate. Women are experts in testing male strength without even realizing it. She might text you back hours later just to see how quickly you respond. She might ignore your message, waiting to see if you'll chase. And every time you play into it, you confirm one thing: you are not the man she truly wants. Because a man who commands respect doesn't chase, he attracts. A man who knows his worth doesn't beg, he walks away. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You will stop responding immediately. If she texts you after ignoring you for hours or days, you don't rush to reply like an excited puppy. You wait. And not as a game, not to manipulate, but to retrain your mind to value yourself more than a moment of attention from a woman who couldn't bother to respect you in the first place. When you finally do reply, it's on your time, not hers. You don't send long, emotional messages. You keep it short, controlled, unaffected. If she's flaky, if she cancels last minute, if she's always busy but somehow has time for everything else, you remove yourself from the equation. No warnings, no emotional speeches, just distance. And in that moment, something shifts, because now you're not the predictable, needy guy she expected. Now, you're the one who walked away without hesitation. That's when curiosity kicks in. Why isn't he chasing? Did I lose him? Suddenly, she starts reaching out more, checking your stories, sending those casual "hey" texts out of nowhere. Because you flipped the power dynamic. But understand this isn't about getting her back. This is about getting yourself back. The problem most men have is that they make a woman their main priority before she's even earned that position. You give your time, your energy, your attention to someone who hasn't proven she deserves it. You place her on a pedestal for no reason, worshipping potential rather than reality. And then you wonder why she doesn't respect you. Because women don't respect free validation. They respect the man who doesn't need them, the man who has his own life, his own goals, his own mission that comes before any woman. The man who isn't afraid to say, "If you don't see my value, I won't force you to." That's the man who makes women chase. That's the man she dreams about. That's the man who can have any woman, but isn't desperate for any of them. You think women ignore weak men just for fun? It's instinctual. Women are biologically programmed to test for strength in men. They need to know. Are you easily controlled? Will you break the second she withdraws attention? Can she lead you by the nose with a simple text? Because if the answer is yes, she immediately loses attraction. And if the answer is no, if you can walk away without looking back, now you are someone she can't stop thinking about. Because now you're different, you're rare. And in a world where most men will do anything for female attention, the man who does nothing is the one who stands out. She wants a man whose presence feels like a privilege, not a right. She wants a leader, not a follower. She wants to feel like she's winning you over, not like she's doing you a favor by acknowledging your existence. So what do you do starting today? You disappear. You stop checking her social media. You stop watching her stories. You stop liking her pictures, hoping she'll notice. You stop waiting for a reply that isn't coming. And you focus on yourself. You build. You improve. You become the kind of man who doesn't need validation from anyone. And you will be shocked how quickly everything changes. How suddenly women start noticing you. How people start respecting you more. Because the truth is, powerful men don't chase. They create gravity. And gravity pulls everything toward it, including the same women who once ignored you. But by the time they realize it, you won't care anymore. Because by then, you'll be on another level. A level where you don't just get attention, you command it. 2, control your reactions. The fastest way to lose respect, both from her and from yourself, is to react emotionally. She ignores your message, and your first instinct is to panic. Your mind starts running wild with thoughts. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? Should I send another text? And before you know it, you're staring at your phone, typing something desperate, something weak, something that screams, "I need you to acknowledge me." And at that moment, you've already lost. Because every time you react out of insecurity, every time you double text, every time you let her indifference dictate your emotions, you confirm that you are not a man she respects. You are not a man she desires. You are a man she tolerates when she feels like it. But let's be brutally honest. How much longer are you willing to let her pull your strings? How much longer will you be the guy who crumbles at the first sign of distance? The guy who lets a simple text, or the lack of one, determine his self-worth? A strong man, a man of value, never reacts emotionally to a woman's silence. He doesn't panic. He doesn't chase. He doesn't crumble. He sees her indifference for what it is, a test, and he passes that test by doing nothing. Women test men constantly, and they don't even realize they're doing it. It's instinctual. They are wired to seek out the strongest option, the man who isn't easily shaken, the man who remains unmoved in the face of uncertainty. The moment you let her lack of response shake your confidence, you fail the test. But when you meet her silence with indifference, when you show her that her presence is not required for your happiness, something shifts. She starts to wonder why you're not chasing. She starts questioning why you're not reacting like every other guy who bends at her feet. And that's when the power shifts back into your hands, because women are drawn to what they cannot control. If she thinks she can play you like a puppet, if she knows that ignoring you will send you into an emotional spiral, then you have no value to her. But the second she realizes that you're unfazed, that you don't need her validation, that you won't break just because she's being distant, that's when she starts to feel something new. Respect. And respect is the foundation of desire. You might be thinking, but what if she's genuinely busy? It doesn't matter, because a woman who is truly interested will never make you question your worth. If she values you, if she respects you, if she wants you in her life, she will make sure you know it. She won't play games. She won't disappear for days and come back when it's convenient. She won't ignore your messages while she's entertaining someone else, only to return when she's bored. So if she's treating you like an option, believe her. Let her be busy. Let her be distant. Let her experience what life is like without your presence. And while she's off doing whatever she's doing, you use that time to level up. You take all that energy you were wasting on waiting for her, thinking about her, obsessing over her, and you invest it into yourself. Because a man who is constantly improving, a man who is too busy building himself to worry about who's texting him back, is a man who will never have to beg for attention. So what does this look like in practice? The next time you feel that urge to check your phone, to see if she's replied, stop yourself. The next time she ignores your message and you feel the need to send another one, don't. The next time she suddenly pops back into your life after days of silence, don't reward her with instant attention. You respond on your time. You move on your terms. And if she continues playing games, if she keeps acting like your time, your energy, and your attention are things she can take for granted, you cut her off completely. No warnings, no explanations, no emotional goodbyes, just silence. Because nothing is more powerful than a man who can walk away. Women chase men who don't need them. They obsess over the man they can't control. They remember the one who didn't crumble when they pulled away. This is how you retrain your mind to operate from a place of power instead of weakness. Because when you control your reactions, you control the situation. And the moment you stop caring more than she does, is the moment you finally become the kind of man who never gets ignored again. Number 3, let silence do the talking. Women are drawn to mystery, uncertainty, and emotional stimulation. The second you become predictable, the second she knows you'll always be there no matter how she treats you, you lose all intrigue. She might not even be ignoring you because she dislikes you. Sometimes she just wants to see how much control she has over you. Women don't consciously think about it this way, but it's hardwired into their psychology. They need to know whether you're a strong man or just another weak option like the rest. She sends a late reply. You respond immediately. She pulls away. You chase harder. She disappears for days. You sit there waiting like a lost puppy, starving for any breadcrumb of attention. And that is exactly why she doesn't respect you. She knows she can have you whenever she wants. There's no challenge, no uncertainty, no thrill. You've become too available, too predictable, too easy. And women do not value what is easy. So what do? You stop filling the silence. Women expect men to chase, beg, and try harder when they withdraw. It's what most men do, and if you play that game, you will always lose. Instead, you do the opposite. You embrace the silence. You become the void. She expects you to react, and when you don't, she starts to notice. Why isn't he chasing? Did I lose him? Has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? And just like that, she starts thinking about you more than before. Women are emotional creatures. They crave the unknown. When you stop being predictable, when you stop reacting, You become the unknown, and that unknown creates curiosity, and curiosity breeds attraction. So next time she ignores you, you say nothing. If she stops replying, you don't check your phone every 5 minutes like an addict craving his next fix. You don't rush to double text. You don't sit there drowning in self-doubt, wondering if you should say something else to fix the situation. You do nothing. The silence is your weapon. Because the moment she realizes that her absence doesn't affect you, that's when she starts to feel something unexpected, uncertainty. And nothing drives a woman crazier than not knowing where she stands with a man. If she knew she had you before, she doesn't anymore. Now you're the one who's slipping away. And that shift in power is everything. Women chase what they can't fully have. Look at how they react to men who aren't emotionally available. The guy who doesn't show all his cards. The guy who doesn't seek her approval. The guy who, at any moment, could walk away and never look back. That man creates gravity. Women feel drawn to him, even if they don't understand why, because he is rare. He doesn't play by the rules that every other man follows. He isn't trapped in the validation-seeking cycle that most men fall into. He is in control. And a man in control is a man women cannot ignore. This is what most men fail to understand. They think attraction is about being nice, being available, being a good guy. But the truth is, good guys get left on read. Good guys get ignored while she chases the man who knows how to stir her emotions. It's not about being rude. It's not about playing mind games. It's about having self-respect. It's about sending a message without saying a word. If she isn't making an effort, she doesn't get to have you. So how do you implement this starting now? First, stop rewarding bad behavior. If she ignores your message for days and then suddenly texts you like nothing happened, you don't respond right away. You make her wait. You show her that you are not an option she can pick up and drop whenever she pleases. If she cancels plans last minute without a good reason, you don't reschedule right away. You let her come to you. If she's consistently flaky, you remove yourself entirely. No arguments, no emotional goodbyes, just disappear. And suddenly, she feels it. The lack of your presence, the absence of your attention, the silence. And that silence forces her to confront reality. Did she just lose you? That thought starts to linger in her mind. She might try to distract herself, but eventually, curiosity will take over. She'll check your social media. She'll start watching your stories, wondering where you are, what you're doing, who you're with. She'll test you again. She might send something casual like, "Hey," and this is where most men fail. They rush to reply thinking, "She finally messaged. This is my chance." Number. The real test has just begun. You don't give her the reaction she expects. You don't jump to respond like a desperate fool. You make her wait. You respond on your terms. You remain unmoved. And when you do reply, you keep it short, controlled, indifferent. Because now she's the one chasing. This is how you train yourself to operate from a position of power. Women are emotional creatures. If you control your presence, your silence, your energy, you control the frame. And if you control the frame, you never get ignored again. Number 4, keep conversations high value. Every time you speak to a woman, you are either increasing her attraction or destroying it. There is no middle ground. If you sound like every other guy in her inbox, she will treat you like every other guy in her inbox, as background noise. Women are surrounded by weak men who give them non-stop attention for free. Every day, she wakes up to messages from guys saying, "Good morning, beautiful," from guys asking, "How was your day?" From guys who bring nothing new, nothing exciting, nothing valuable. And what does she do? She ignores them. Not because she enjoys being cruel, but because they bore her. Women don't ignore men out of malice. They ignore men who give them nothing to feel. Women chase emotions, tension, unpredictability. They don't chase safe, predictable, easily controlled men. So if your conversations are dry, if you are just another man who asks, "How was your day?" expecting her to suddenly be interested in you, you have already lost. You need to make your conversations high value. And that starts with one thing: stop seeking validation. The moment you text a woman just to get a response, you're operating from weakness. Women sense this desperation instantly. You don't message her to check in. You don't message her because you miss her. You message her because you have something worth saying, and if you don't, you say nothing. When you talk to a woman, your words need to trigger emotions. Women don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. If you can make her laugh, if you can make her curious, if you can make her feel like she's experiencing something new, you win. But if you are dry, if your messages are nothing but questions, if you are just another guy trying to start a conversation, she will feel nothing. And when a woman feels nothing, she moves on. This is where most men fail. They try to build attraction by being nice. They think if they are polite, respectful, and caring, the woman will magically start wanting them. But attraction does not work that way. Women don't choose men based on who is the most polite. They choose the man who excites them, the man who challenges them, the man who stands out from the rest. So how do you start doing this? You make her chase your attention. If she messages you, you don't immediately reply with something generic. You make her work for your energy. You send messages that force her to engage. Instead of saying, "How was your day?" you say, "Tell me the most interesting thing that happened to you today." Instead of saying, "What's up?" you say, "I just realized something about you, but I'm not sure if I should tell you yet." Now, she has to engage. Now, you are creating tension, and women crave tension. A woman will never desire a man whose energy she can predict. If she always knows what you're going to say, if she always knows you're available, if she always knows you will respond immediately, she feels no excitement. This is why women chase men who are unpredictable. She doesn't want a man she can figure out in a day. She wants a man who keeps her guessing. And if you can create that feeling, she will never ignore you. But if you can't, if you are just another boring, predictable, validation-seeking guy, she will leave you on red forever. So what do you do starting now? You stop chasing conversations that go nowhere. If she gives you dry responses, you disengage. If she's not bringing energy to the conversation, you let the conversation die. You do not force attraction. You spark it. And the only way to spark it is by bringing something different, unique, and valuable. A high-value man never begs for attention. He is the source of excitement, mystery, and confidence. And because of that, women will fight for his presence, but only if he knows how to control the conversation, the frame, and most importantly, his own value. Number 5. Build a life that commands respect. A man who is waiting for a woman's attention is a man who has nothing more important going on in his life. That is the cold, hard truth. If you find yourself checking your phone every 5 minutes, wondering if she's thinking about you, waiting for her to text back, your problem isn't her, it's you. Your life is too empty. Your focus is in the wrong place, and that's why she doesn't respect you. Women are not attracted to men who have nothing better to do than wait for them. They are drawn to men who are moving forward, who are too busy building something real to care about her delayed response. You need to become that man, the man whose life is so full, so purpose-driven, that even if she leaves, even if she ghosts, even if she disappears without a word, it does not matter. Because your mission, your purpose, your growth is what defines you, not her validation, not her interest, not her attention. Most men fail because they build their entire existence around getting a woman's approval. Their confidence comes from how many women like them, how many texts they get, how much attention they receive. And that is exactly why they remain weak. Because the second a woman pulls away, their entire world collapses. A man with no purpose beyond women is a man who will always be controlled by women. She can feel it. She knows when a man's self-worth is tied to her opinion of him, and she will never respect a man like that. Because respect is given to men who are unshakable, a man who could have her or not have her and still move forward. This is why men who are on their grind, who are focused, who have direction, do not struggle with women, because they are too busy winning in life to care about the trivial games most women play. They aren't sitting around waiting for a reply. They aren't thinking about how to get her back. They aren't obsessing over what she's doing, who she's with, whether or not she's talking to another guy. They do not have time for that nonsense. They are too busy becoming the man that she wishes she could keep. That is what commands respect. That is what makes her regret losing you. That is what makes her chase you instead of the other way around. But here's the problem. Most men say they will focus on themselves, but they never actually do it. They tell themselves they'll hit the gym, that they'll start a business, that they'll improve their lives. But when she comes back, when she gives them a little attention, they drop everything to chase her again. And that is why they stay weak. Because their focus is never truly on themselves. It is always on her. And as long as your focus is on her, you will always be controlled by her. So how do you fix this? You shift your entire mindset. You stop making her the center of your world. You stop needing her validation to feel like a man. You start building a life that excites you, with or without her in it. A life so full of purpose, of goals, of ambition, that when she pulls away, it doesn't shake you. Instead of checking your phone, you are at the gym, transforming your body. Instead of worrying about her, you are working on your business, stacking your money, increasing your value. Instead of sitting around hoping she comes back, you are surrounded by options, because your energy now attracts more women than you could ever chase. That is real power. That is what makes her see you differently. Because now, you are not a man who needs her. You are a man who chooses who deserves his attention. A woman cannot respect a man who has no direction. She might entertain you for a while, she might even like you, but she will never truly desire you if she sees that your life is empty without her. Women don't want to be your purpose. They want to join a man who already has one. They want to feel like they are winning by being with you. And that only happens if you are already winning on your own. If she leaves and you crumble, you were never truly strong to begin with. But if she leaves and you keep moving forward, if she leaves and you level up even harder, if she leaves and you become an even better version of yourself, she will feel it. And nothing haunts a woman more than the thought of a man she used to have becoming the man she always wanted after she left. This is what separates weak men from powerful men. Weak men let a woman's attention determine their self-worth. Powerful men let their mission, their discipline, their purpose define them. Weak men chase. Powerful men attract. Weak men sit around waiting for her reply. Powerful men are too busy building an empire to care. And by the time she realizes it, by the time she comes back, by the time she finally sees the man you've become, you won't even want her anymore. Because now you have options. Now you are the prize. Now you are the man she regrets ignoring. That is what it means to build a life that commands respect. And if you start today, if you truly commit, you will never be ignored again. Every man has felt the sting of being ignored. The sinking feeling in your chest when she stops replying. The frustration, the confusion, the slow realization that she doesn't see you the way you see her. It's a pain that digs deep, that makes you question yourself, that makes you wonder if you'll ever be good enough. But here's what you need to understand. This moment is your awakening. This is the turning point where you either become another weak man broken by rejection, or you rise up and use this as fuel to become the kind of man who never gets ignored again. You have two choices. You can chase, beg, and remain the same, trapped in the cycle of seeking validation from women who do not respect you. Or you can take all that energy, all that frustration, all that emotion, and redirect it into building a life so powerful, so valuable, so untouchable, that one day she looks back and realizes she lost something she will never find again. This is not about getting her back. This is about getting you back. This is about making yourself the kind of man who doesn't just demand respect, but commands it effortlessly. The kind of man who never waits for a reply because he is too busy making moves. The kind of man who doesn't chase women because he has become the kind of man women chase. And when you reach that level, everything changes. Women start noticing you. Opportunities start appearing. Confidence becomes natural, because you are no longer a man waiting to be chosen. You are the man who chooses, the man who walks away without hesitation, the man who never begs for attention because his presence alone is a privilege. This is your moment. The pain you feel now is a gift. Use it. Build yourself. Focus on your mission. Create a life where no woman's validation will ever define you again. Because the second you become that man, you will never be ignored again. And if this message hit you deep, if this is the wake-up call you needed, comment, "I refuse to beg." Let this be your declaration that from this moment forward, you will never wait, chase, or seek approval again. And if you want more of these hard truths, more of these lessons that most men never hear, support this channel. Like the video, subscribe, share this message, because the more men we wake up, the stronger we become.